There aren't many terminal utilities I'd take with me anywhere, but if I had to pick just one, Atuin may very well be it. Not only it's been a favorite of mine for a few years now, it recently made huge upgrades making it not only incredibly performant, but also adding stuff that could basically kill another company you probably already know. It's not only faster and smarter, it packs so much power I sometimes have to recheck the docs to make sure I actually got it right. There's dotfiles management, parameterized scripting, key bindings, and sync across all of your devices. But now there's the next level. Can you guess? Well, I'm sure you can.
Artificial intelligence.
But this one isn't just AI, it isn't just in your terminal, it's part of it, with it as context, making it not only extremely powerful, but also kind of the killer of another product. You know, before, much like everyone else, they became a terminal agent or an agent terminal. Goddamn, we're going through the worst time in tech. I'm kidding. Atuin is beautiful, it's open source, highly maintained, and if you're not on it yet, you're missing out. Let's get into it. The Magic Turtle has made leaps of progress since I last updated. Not only it's already at 30,000 stars, the docs page got a serious facelift, and if you're still not using it, here's a quick rundown. It gives you fuzzy structured searchable prompt on top of your shell history that persists inside a local database so you never lose any command. Anyway, in the blog, amongst many other news like open sourcing their AI server and custom bindings, Atuin 18.13 stands out as a major one. There's better search, a proxy, and yeah, AI. But before all that, let's rewind a second. At its core, Atuin does this. It sits in your terminal, replacing your history. In Atuin, not only you can fuzzy search across pretty much every command you've ever typed in, you get timestamps, color-coded exit codes, and even Vim-like range rulers. This is not the first Atuin video I'm making, and for some reason I keep getting similar comments, so the combination of a forever persistent list of commands is a game changer for me. It saved me more times than I like to admit. Having it in a fuzzy, snappy, searchable list that has my entire history is simply genius. And now for B. Yes, your history has tokens and secrets, and while Atuin can easily be configured to never record them, I get the worry. I get why you won't want to sync it to a server you don't trust, let alone fit it into a random AI model. You don't have to. All of these things can be easily configured, and I'll show you just how. Good. End of rant, let's upgrade. I'm running Atuin 18.10, and there's quite a few changes since. It was messing up my tmx history, would sometimes choke on large datasets, and surely it couldn't do what I'm about to show you. So, a quick curl, which reinstalls everything for me, and after a few questions, we got it. So, Atuin has a daemon, and like other daemons, you can't really see it, but you can feel. This was an experimental feature that, without going into too much details, was a layer that enhances speed, both of retrieval and search. It's based on a similar algorithm as FCF. But it's not just about the daemon. Atuin is now, yeah, this sounds unreal knowing how it behaved previously, 78 times faster. Up to 78 to be exact, but how, you ask? We'll get to that. This is Ellie's Atuin author's profile. Follow her if you don't already. She posted this not too long ago, and if you're bored like me, you've found the commit where a developer had basically changed the SQL statement to achieve insane speed. He went from finding unique commands and then grabbing the n most recent to scan by recency until we have n unique. Confused? Me too. Well, suppose Atuin had 1 million commands in history, and Ctrl-R only needs to display the latest 100 unique comments. The old query effectively did this: read all 1 million rows, work out every unique command, sort that large result by recency, then return the first 100. SQLite had to process almost the entire history first. The new query is more like start with the newest commands, ignore a command if a newer copy of it has already existed, keep collecting unique ones, and stop as soon as you have enough of them. See this query? It basically scans backwards and keeps unique commands until it reaches the wanted default amount rather than processing everything every single time. Nice. Next, they've added PTY proxy, which if you've used the older Atuin, you probably noticed how when you tried seeing your history after Atuin popped, it messed up everything. No more. Atuin now overlays the existing terminal and renders in its own pop-up, then removes altogether when you're back to your view. Now, daemons and rendering is nice and all, we're here for the main dish, Atuin's AI. And I wasn't kidding when I said this is what warp is, or at least used to be, for. Once upgraded to version 18.17, you're good. One thing though, and I'm sorry to disappoint those who listened to me and got Nushell as their main shell, Atuin AI doesn't currently support Nushell specifically. Let's talk about managing credentials from the terminal. For a lot of DevOps team, the workflow is still a mix of envars, copied passwords, config files, and scripts holding secrets in clear text. Keeper Security gives you a much cleaner way to handle this with Keeper Commander. Commander is an open source command line interface and SDK for working with your Keeper Vault and Keeper PAM. You can use it to manage credentials, automate vault operations, and launch remote sessions via Keeper PAM. It also functions as a powerful SDK for Python, .NET, and Go, allowing you to integrate Keeper with backend systems at scale. Commander also includes Supershell, a full-screen terminal interface for browsing and managing your vault. It uses Vim-style keyboard navigation, so you can search records, move through folders, and run commands without leaving the keyboard or the terminal. The important part is that this all sits in Keeper Zero Trust, Zero Knowledge architecture. Vault data is encrypted and decrypted on the user's device, and the encryption keys aren't accessible to anyone except the user, not even Keeper's own employees. Instead of treating credential access as a collection of scripts and local workarounds, teams can bring it into a workflow that's centralized, automatable, and designed for proper access control. Interested? You'll find the link in the description to request a Keeper demo. Now back to the video. So allow me to hop over to my home lab Ubuntu box where Atuin is also upgraded. Now check out these. Do I want my existing history to load into it? Sure. Sync with Atuin Cloud? Well, I know some of you aren't big fans of the idea. Up to you. As for the AI, by default, the commands themselves are not sent to the model. That's it. Restart the shell and get the snappy thing just shooting when called. Instantly, everything is here with 0 seconds timestamp as it was just loaded to the system. Now, Atuin AI is triggered with hitting the question mark, and you'd need to be logged into the system for it to work. So get that sorted quickly, authorize, and boom. Now get that. Need a command to find, I don't know, every pod that restarted 3 times and sort it? Nice. Since it's already in your terminal, just hit enter to execute or tab to insert and edit inline. And there it is. Here's another great use case. What most of us are doing while searching the history is basically trying to guess keywords or subcommands we had. Well, how about we use free language to find the command I previously ran to port forward to Grafana, or any port forward command for that matter. Now, Atuin won't just give you anything you want. There are limitations built in, and while you can probably jailbreak it if you try hard enough, that's not the point. If I ask to expose the server so that it's available publicly, and yes, I've made it dramatic enough to make a point, Atuin's going to refuse to cooperate with compromising my own system. Okay, and now it's time for some extra powers with the PTY proxy. While experimental, the PTY proxy is replacing a previous component called Hex, essentially helping Atuin get over the 2E rendering which often led to scrambled history or clearing your screen just to show inline search. Now, with it installed, you can render a pop-up, but if you're following this channel and thinking, Tmux has pop-ups as well, I'm proud of you. So everyone else can enjoy their PTY proxy, real Tmux users have a feature of their own. Go to the Atuin config, add Tmux, enable true, and we can also configure the pop-up dimensions. The next time you fire Atuin, it won't work because it's not supported in Nushell yet, but fired up in ZSH and there it is. Lovely. Another thing Atuin can do for you, and that's not all new to be fair, is running scripts. I have a video covering all of that should you want to go into more depth about it, but essentially you build yourself a library of snippets that can be parameterized, listed, and run from everywhere. Oh yeah, and since Atuin syncs, you can sync your scripts with all of your machines. No copy pasting, no git pushing and pulling with random hooks, baked in already. But that's not all you can sync. Beyond your history moving around and AI on top to search things out, you can now sync dotfiles. Yeah, now dotfiles can do a bit more than just sync, and don't ask me how the next bit is actually related to dotfiles, but my god, it's useful. Under the dotfiles Atuin command, you can set aliases, like, alias k to kubectl, set it, make sure dotfiles are enabled in a config, and the next time you call k on any machine, voila, sync through everywhere. In a way, this replaces your RC files, which makes sense that it sits under the dotfile section coming to think of it. Anyway, Now, here's a cool bit combining dotfiles with Atuin AI and the PTY proxy, which earlier we only mentioned as a rendering solution. This time, even though we're in Tmax, we're going to activate the PTY proxy by adding it to the same eval line that loads Atuin. Now, let's get pods from a non-existing namespace. Of course it fails. Now we can pop up the AI prompt and ask it casually, why did it fail? Atuin will infer that it's being asked about the command history. Well, duh, but we're not done. There's also a setting to allow Atuin AI to open the last sent command, kind of like a skill. Set it, run again, use the failure to ask Atuin what went wrong, it gets the last command and produces an answer. Magic. Last but not least, Atuin had recently added color coding, or syntax highlighting rather, for all history commands, making it not only beautiful, but much easier to read. Flags, subcommands, strings and parameters all beautifully set. There's no question of whether Atuin stays or goes. I've been very vocal about it ever since starting to use it probably 2 years ago, and every time I share it, people mainly react to the sync bit that frightens them. So I suggest going back to this video next to see how you can filter, limit, or just avoid any kind of sync altogether. But regardless, you can just simply not sync. Use Atuin for what it mainly is, an amazing search over your local command history. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.